Went straight in. Was in off the ball, and the referee is taking a serious view of this. The game has been a very sporting one. It's been just the occasional little flare-up, but nothing very much. But that was very, very late indeed. Number 5, I think he's indicating. And he's booked. Now, we can see what happened here as Cooper went in. There was the very late tackle. In fact, that was a display quite clearly of anger and frustration. And perhaps he's even lucky to stay in the field for that. Bit of a collision, misunderstanding. That's a better attack. That gay abandon that Andy was talking about seems to have taken over in Hearts, throwing the ball about well. Always giving the impression they can fight back into this game. And the captain, a great example to them. Theodore on his own, virtually. There's McDougall. Now he needs a bit of pace here, and he's brought down late. Some of the tackles a bit frantic now, and I think the referee may be taking a very stern attitude. The one thing I did discern earlier on, well, we'll talk about it in a minute, as the play starts again with a free kick. Here's McQueen. Kiruia, a tantalising little shuffle of his. Throw to Aberdeen. Free kick, yes. I don't think the Hearts players can complain about that one. As I said, this man there, Walter Kidd, he's been a great example to his side. I know he's been booked, but, you know, that can happen in a cup final. He is a hard but fair player, and he's been driving them on in the second half. Oh, there's a third one. Billy Stark. 3-0 for Aberdeen, and that is the cup final well and truly finished, I think, as far as Hearts are concerned, and the celebrations for Aberdeen, with only 15 minutes remaining, will go on from now until Monday morning, I suspect, as Billy Stark picks up the killer goal. And it was beautifully done by Stark, launching himself and the ball catapulting into the net.
Also, Archie, two magnificent runs to the front post there from Cooper and McLeish, which took the Hearts defence away, and the ball bypassing them, and a great finish from Stark. That's two headed goals from him 2 weeks running, but obviously this one is far more important, and he's won at Clydebank.
That's a scoreline, a very impressive one, and no doubt all the people in the northeast watching this programme right now will have joined in the celebrations, rightly so. Aberdeen, even though in the second half they were in front, took the full fury of a fighting Hearts team, withstood it. They were technically, I think, a superior side to Hearts, more individual flair, and they remained cool. It's paid off. Berry. Oh, took it like a rugby fullback. Andy.
And Joe Miller now on for John Hewitt, so that's John Hewitt lost the chance of this record that you talked about, Archie. He took a heavy tackle there just before the last goal. John Hewitt has been outstanding in the match, not only in terms of the goal-scoring side of it, but also in the way he was used as a target man. He had a fantastic match there for Hearts, for Aberdeen.
Well, we must have a word with the Aberdeen manager about his substitutions after this. Fine young player in Joe Miller off. That'll be a booking. Mackay very late with that. No, there's a bit of games we should get on here. It's all been a bit unpleasant in the last few seconds. So, 4 Hearts players booked. And it looks to me as if he's booking the Hearts captain, and if that's the case, he's off. Isn't that tragic? What a sad ending to a player who's given his all for his club this afternoon. But if he's broken the rules, then off he has to go without any sympathy. Now, what do you make of this situation for the Edinburgh side? 3-0 down, reduced to 10 men. I doubt even if a succession of miracles would save them. Now, I hope none of the other players lose the control here. Out of exasperation and frustration. There's late tackle there by Ben. I think the sheer momentum of the player going through caused that. Here's Berry. Corner kick, and they're still fighting. Look at the way he's trying to get the ball back into play again. Corner kick. I make it 11 minutes left. Clark almost getting there. Joe Miller. Black. Miller right in the way. Miller, oh, brilliantly done by the youngster. Great tackle by Berry. Well, Hearts have been full of this all season. I mean, they really want to go places, and it looks as if they're going to have one of the most disappointing seasons in their history in coming so near yet so far. And yet we will never forget them for their attitude to the game, which has provided a renaissance for Edinburgh football. Great run forward again by Cahoon, but Aberdeen are the match of this now. And there's so little time left for Hearts. 10 minutes remaining as McLeish picks it up. This is McKimmie drifting forward. He'll try the shot, and it wasn't far away. Just got slightly underneath it, but had the right intentions. Saw the gap in the Hearts defence as he went forward. Probably see him just chipping at it more than anything else. And there it was, underneath it, and all was going up.
After the sterile European Cup final, actually, this just underlines what football's all about here. This is about excitement and flair and imagination and, above all, drama.
And that drama, I think, and all credit to Hearts, they have made a game of it. I cannot stress this enough, that to lose a goal so early in a cup final after the disappointing week they had, a lot of us suspected that if that had happened, they would have folded. Not a bit of it. 3 goals down and they're still fighting. And that is exactly what Andy is suggesting makes this cup final so different and so human as compared to what we saw in midweek. Gary Mackay in hard. Big turn there by Charlie McQueen. There's McDougall. Bet. High square by Cooper. Willie Miller comes forward. It's 4 against 3. Now Stark. A disappointing ball by Stark. No real control over that final pass. Clark, Robertson. Weir, Bet. Aberdeen playing it around with style now. Bet. Oh, beautiful pass by Bet. Stark trying to turn inside, almost gets there. Studious play there by Jim Bet. All about timing the final pass. Oh, that's Slack and Hart looking slightly depressed at the moment. Here's McDougall, allowing players to come up on him. Joe Miller. Cooper. Peter Weir. He has Berry there. Gets it in. This must be another one. It is. No, it's been disallowed. It is not a goal. The referee saying offside, I think. Oh no, a push. She's indicating a push. Still 3-0. Joe Miller it was who pushed. Here's Weir. Bet goes in front of him. Bet has played a very useful role in this latter part of the match. It's a free run almost for McQueen. In that shadow there, and into the sun, and there's Stark, and it's a side net. And Aberdeen are playing now, Andy, as if the game is well and truly won. Well, it was after that third goal, but now they're demonstrating it clearly.
Oh, yes, there's no doubt about that. I mean, it's just sheer professionalism now from Aberdeen. Making great passes and great forward runs. People like McKimmie and Cooper and so on have been making forward runs, even Willie Miller. So obviously Hearts are still trying, but the game is now well away from them, obviously.
And a fairly bruising tackle there by Sandy Clark, ends in handshakes. I was saying earlier that I didn't notice Fergie down on the bench the entire game, and I don't think he has been there. Willie Miller takes that. Johnny Mackay. Whittaker. Beautifully picked up by Bet. Now the counter-attack, and he's a specialist in this. Joe Miller brought it down well, even though the wind bothered him. And Sandy Jardine, his timing to perfection. Right to the end, there's only 4 minutes of this 1986 Scottish Cup final remaining. And young Joe Miller from Lanarkshire Schools football with this corner. Gary Mackay. I don't think there was any serious intent in that. It's really accidental.
That's a new one for the coaching manual, that, a 1-2 off the referee.
And I can announce that the man of the match, Mr. Superfoot Award, has been won by John Hewitt of Aberdeen. No wonder. A couple of goals that effectively won the cup for the Dons, and here is Black. Sandy Clark. And it's the Aberdeen supporters we're hearing now. Dougal, Stark, Neil Berry, Clark, Cahoon, floated away towards that far post. It's a goal kick. Yes, a quite extraordinary game here. We knew it would be an enormous challenge for Hearts, because when I saw them during the week, they were contending with two different things. One, depression after losing the championship, and secondly, they had a debilitating bug which swept through the club, and some of the players were distinctly unfit. Well, they've been fit today, but what I think has won it is the technical discipline of Aberdeen, the great experience, and those little individual busts that have made the difference between lead and dross and lead and gold. And most deservedly, the cup is going yet again to Pittodrie. A couple of minutes, and the referee will be putting the final seal on this. It's a matter of waiting it out now. Aberdeen know it, Hearts know it, and both sets of supporters. Robertson with the shots, whistling pass. I think there may have been a deflection, yes, a corner kick, and the Aberdeen bench minus Alec Ferguson. He's watched the game from the stand, which I think must be the first cup final he's done that. Hearts fighting to the end. Young John Robertson's shot coming in. Now this should swing in viciously. Black, Jordan, Gilberry, Robertson with a shot again, and that's two shots in the space of 1 minute. And at that rate of attacking, you'd think Hearts were really peaking. In fact, now it's just a case of waiting for the final whistle. And yet the Hearts supporters, sounding as if they're in the higher throes of delirium, shows you what a marvellous support they are. Although there must be an ache in the throats. Neat little reverse pass. Sandy Jordan will try the shot again, and it's not their day. We're watching the referee, and there it goes, the final whistle. Aberdeen have won the 1986 Scottish Cup final, and Alec Ferguson comes down from the stand to meet one of his old Ivorish buddies, Alec MacDonald. But there, the triumphant manager, Alec Ferguson, who is running on to get his players initially. There's Teddy Scott, the Aberdeen physiotherapist, come general factotum. His first responsibility is to get to the players and congratulate them. And Alec Ferguson has now watched his team win the Scottish Cup in those occasions, 1982, 1983, 1984, and now 1986, and we are still chasing him for an interview. But it's the players who come first, not unnaturally. Tremendous performance by Aberdeen. They've now scored 20 goals in their history and cup finals. And much of that credit goes to the man with his arms raised aloft. What a send-off to the World Cup for that pair, Fergie and Big Alec. And the goalkeeper. It's almost a World Cup reunion out there. That lovely, expansive smile on the face. The big red-haired Alec McLeish says it all, and now...
When it mattered in the game, they played well. That's what cup finals are about. Spammer!
Congratulations, Alex Ferguson. What do you think of the result?
Well, we played when it mattered. When there was something extra had to be given, our players were able to give it.
A couple of great goals from John Hewitt.
Some magnificent football from us at spells, you know, and give credit to Hearts. It's a tragedy last week. I mean, that is a pity about it, but well, we were here to win the cup, and that's what we did. I'm delighted with them.
And he is delighted, and indeed a nice gesture there by Alec Ferguson to mention the disappointment that many people felt in Hearts losing the league championship last Saturday. Oh, how cruel the world can be. We now await the Aberdeen players going up. And by the way, let me repeat that John Hewitt is Mr. Superfit. There's the provost of Aberdeen there, I think. Yes, it is. Just beside the provost of Glasgow. And up comes Willie Miller. And there, Willie Miller. This is the fourth time he's held that cup aloft. Jim Leighton, the man who came back, didn't mind smiling into the cameras minus a tooth, and hugs very safely, and they say, the plinth. The Aberdeen supporters who have travelled down all this distance are now beginning to think they should book a permanent place on those terracing slopes at Hampden Park. The man who meant so much for that second goal, Peter Weir, Frank McDougall and Billy Stark, scorer of the third goal. McKimmie, Stuart McKimmie, Jim Bett, Neil Cooper, the youngster Joe Miller. Nice to see the Lanarkshire boy we knew getting a medal. And Mr. Superfit, John Hewitt.
Willie Miller, congratulations. The fourth time in 5 years. How does it feel? Is it getting a bit of a habit?
No, it's never gets a habit winning here. It's always a great occasion, and thoroughly enjoyed it today again.
Is it one of the better ones you played in, do you think?
I thought it was a good open game, yeah. Hearts done a lot to make it so. They had a few chances in the second half, but we scored the goals at the right time.
And the crowd from both ends of the park, I think, magnificent.
Yeah, fantastic. I think they're all enjoying the day out, and the sun's actually out for them, so I think they've had a great day, and we've had a great day, so...
And the sun's shining for you. Thank you very much.
Great. Thanks.
And there come the Hearts team. It's difficult for them to contain their emotions again. That is quite clear. You cannot begin to believe what it was like over in that dressing room last Saturday at Dens Park. And now it's happened again. There is a brave man and a very nice man indeed who took all this defeat in this past 70 days with great dignity. And the winners. There they are. And now the Hearts team have decided to go and greet this very large and loyal support. It's almost incredible to think they have done so much and won nothing. Well, won nothing for the record books, but won the respect of many people who thought that Edinburgh football or Tynecastle football had become mediocre. They've lifted it up out of that, brought people back onto the terracings, and oh dear, do we need that in modern football.
John Hewitt, 2 great goals. Just talking about the first one, you're not known as a man who hits the ball as hard as that.
Well, I wouldn't say that. I'm quite a good hitter of the ball, but I just seen the goal in front of me and I made space for myself and stuck it in the back of the net.
What about the second one?
Well, the second one, again, it was played down the left. The ball was played across the face of the goal. Frank dummied it, and I had the whole goal to really put it away.
And Mr. Super Fit, despite the fact you spent most of the second half on the bench.
Well,
what's the matter with you?
Well, I knocked my ankle and it's quite sore, so I had to come off.
It's not serious, though?
No, hopefully not.
Congratulations.
Thanks very much.
There's the Aberdeen support. It's going to be a very joyous journey back up the road, but as I said, they're now becoming accustomed to it. And the Aberdeen team, I think, will be going back for tomorrow to parade the streets again. They are now the double cup winners, the Skoll League Cup and the Scottish Cup, and proving yet again, as we hear the Northern Lights of Aberdeen appropriately being played by a very perceptive PA announcer, that they are far from in decline, the very opposite. They may have had their hiccups in the league, indeed they had. They acknowledge that themselves, but they have proved that they are still a mix of technical soundness and flair that can, on the right occasion and the right time, prove successful. That's the trophy, that's the prize, and that's the man who made it possible, I think, in that crucial goal, the third goal, late on in the second half. Killed Hearts stone dead. It's sometimes, when you consider the stress and the strain of a long season, but I think Revel Alderson is now getting the scorer of the third, Billy Stark.
Quick one. Billy Stark, congratulations scoring the third goal, coming on as substitute. How do you feel?
Oh, I feel absolutely brilliant. I mean, I couldn't have hoped for that. The boys were doing magnificently, and unfortunately Johnny picked up an injury, otherwise I probably wouldn't have got a chance. So to score a goal was just unbelievable.
What about these people behind you?
Fantastic. I mean, I know they crying the old firm, but I think that the fans have turned out today and supported it without them, and really it was a magnificent crowd.
Congratulations.
Thanks very much.
And that is the first time, I think I should point out, in these 4 wins in 5 years that Aberdeen have had, it's the first time they haven't won the cup in extra time. They went to extra time on all the other occasions. Not that it mattered eventually, because they won it today deservedly and with style. Although, as I think one or two of the players in the interviews acknowledged, including Alec Ferguson, Hearts gave them a game of it. And that's what made a cup final. And it's all a matter now of getting back into the dressing room, getting away from all my colleagues down there who will interview them until midnight, if they care, getting back in there and celebrating privately. At the moment, it's in the public domain, and there is a delighted Peter Weir. Well, has joined the Miller family. He's adopted that trophy. And I'll tell you what, he's not going to give it up easily, knowing that man down there. Well, Billy Stark, a brave man, having to put on a scarf, and he's exerted. Oh, yes, I like it. Good luck, the Dons. That's Neil Cooper. Neil Cooper and Alec McLeish, who's going to mean so much to